Welcome to Insider News. Tonight, some fake beggars met their Waterloo as they were caught by the state government. Also to come your way is the activities marking the burial ceremony of late Pa Julius Nwafo Inoko, Orumba North Council area. Please join us for details after the hard news. I am Maureen Stone Enujoke. Governor William Obiano says his administration will continue to support any program geared towards safeguarding the rich Igbo cultural heritage, performing the foundation stone laying ceremony of the headquarters of the State Council of Traditional Prime Ministers, Ndionowu, and an ultra-modern civic center in Oka. Governor Obiano, who charged Ndibo to always take pride in their rich cultural heritage, advised stakeholders of Igbo extraction to close ranks in sustaining the Igbo cultural norms and values. We have the details.
Governor Obiano, who was represented by the Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Community Affairs, Mr. Greg Obi, commended the State Council of Traditional Prime Ministers for their support to the growth and development of Igbo language and culture and called for its sustenance.
I will inform His Excellency about the success of today's event. We've heard that it's an individual out of the magnanimity of his heart that donated this land, yes, and continues to cater for the well-being of Ndonowus and Anambra State at large.
In a remark, the member representing Anambra Central Senatorial District at the National Assembly, Chief Victor Ume, who was conferred the chieftaincy title of Onunekulu Igbo at the event, called Onundi Igbo to always be their brother's keeper. Chief Ume, while promising the people of Anambra Central Senatorial District quality representation, thanked Ndionowu Anambra State for the honor which he said will spur him to continue with his exploits at the Senate.
We're arranging the revenue sharing formula. It's part of the restructuring that we have been canvassing for. The states ought to get higher percentage of that revenue.
The president of the State Council of Traditional Prime Ministers, Chief Dr. Anthony Enukeme, who said that the State Council of Traditional Prime Ministers came into existence in 2007 to bring their members in the 177 communities together, said that the council secretariat, which foundation stone laying ceremony was performed by Governor Willie Obiano, will comprise a data bank on Igbo culture and tradition, a library and relaxation center on completion.
Previously, we were told that Igbo people don't go to school, especially the Anambrarians. But today, the reverse is the case. We now value education more than anything else. And without education, we are going nowhere. So I encourage my people, advise my people as well as youth, you should first of all acquire education academically before thinking of trade, whatever mission you want to take.
In an address of welcome, the secretary of the association, Chief Joe Nwegu, commended the state government for its support to the association, as well as its president, Chief Dr. Enukeme, for donating land for the construction of the council secretariat, in addition to his support to the council's empowerment programs, praying for more of God's blessings on him. The chairman on the occasion and the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, who described Ndionowu as the light of their various communities, promised to always identify with them. The event, which was attended by the managing director and chief executive officer of the Anambra Broadcasting Service, Mr. Uche Nwora, featured conferment of chieftaincy titles to some deserving individuals, including Chief Joseph Eze Okafor of Jesco Group and Vincent Obianodo of Young Shall Grow Motors, Ambassador Uche Ajulu, as well as expatriate Ms. Peng Yong from the People's Republic of China, amongst others.
Catholic faithful in Anambra State today joined their counterparts across the country to observe the Feast of Christ the King. It is celebrated in total acceptance of the kingship of Jesus Christ, the author and finisher of the Christian faith. Processions will be held by the faithful in various streets across the state with various songs of praises to signify the kingship of Jesus Christ. Speaking to the ABS on the significance of the day, the Catholic Bishop of Awka Diocese, Most Reverend Paulinus Ezokafo, who said that the event supposed to take place in June, but due to the weather condition in Nigeria, it was agreed to be held this month. Bishop Ezokafo said that today is the last Sunday in the church calendar because, according to him, Advent, which comes up next Sunday, marks the beginning of a new church calendar. The Catholic Bishop of Awka Diocese, who called on Christians to recognize the kingship of Jesus Christ, cautioned them against religious intolerance, reminding Christians of the need to see themselves as one, irrespective of denominations. Meanwhile, in all the churches visited, Catholic faithful were seen, dancing and rejoicing as the chorus that Christ is King indeed, while all parts of the churches were decorated with palm fronds. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye has the details.
At St. Peter's Catholic Church, Nkweloka, the parish priest, Reverend Father Nicholas Okekocha, in his homily, said the supremacy of Christ supersedes all, as he was born as a king to the world. He explained that Christ's kingdom is different from that of rulers of the world, pointing out that Christ is the universal king, which is spiritual.
The best respect you can give to a king is to listen to him and obey him. And the Christ is telling us that the word is truth. Whoever listens to his word and obeys it, that person is already doing his will as the king. So Christ is reigning in that person's life.
At the Divine Mercy Chaplaincy, Chukwemeka Odumego Juku Teaching Hospital, Amakwoka, the chaplain, Reverend Father Justin Ezechuku, in his homily, said that as children of royalty, the faithful should be humble while running their race on earth, noting that Christ came as a king but played the role of a servant and laid down his life for the redemption of all. Reverend Father Ezechuku regretted that some are still bowing to idols, urging Christians to obey the kingship of Christ so as to inherit his kingdom at the last day. Meanwhile, Christians have been charged to show gratitude and appreciation to God at all times. The vicar of All Souls Anglican Church, Enugu, Reverend Hilary Nwokabia, who made the call in a sermon, said if all should count their blessings, they will appreciate the wonderful things the Lord has done, calling on the parishioners to invest in God's vineyard to enjoy the benefits. Also at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Mercy Seat Parish, Araba Umuzocha Oka, the pastor in charge, Pastor Oke Abambo, whose message centered on His name is wonderful, said that the wonders of God in the lives of people every day makes it mandatory for all to be appreciative of Christ's goodness upon them. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
Today is International Day for Elimination of All Forms of Violence Against Women. The international community is observing today as a day for the elimination of all forms of violence against women. It aimed at raising awareness on the continued increase in gender-based violence in the society. Speaking on the significance of the day, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Social Reorientation, Mrs. Mitchell Onubolu, who extolled the declaration of the day by the United Nations General Assembly in 1993 as part of efforts to check violence against women, maintained that women are the most vulnerable in the society, especially at home. Contributing, Monsignor Jerome Madeke of Awka Catholic Diocese stated that the nature of women is very vital and called on couples to always tolerate and accommodate the opinions of each other. For the President, Mother's Union and the Anglican Diocese of Awka, Mrs. Martha Ibezim, God created women to be helpmates, calling for peace and unity amongst couples. And Ogidi High Court has adjourned sitting till 15th of January 2019 in a petition brought before it by Mr. Emeka Akukwe asking it to intervene in the leadership crisis rocking Eziowelle community. Counsel to the petitioner, Mr. Barnabas Uwala, disclosed this while speaking to journalists inside the court's premises. Correspondent Chukwemeka Modelim was there and now reports.
According to Mr. Uwala, the petitioner, Mr. Akukwe, is asking the court to stop members of the executive of Eziowelle Town Union from parading themselves as so as the election that produced them was marred with irregularities. He revealed that the petitioner, Mr. Akukwe, had on the 30th of June this year filed a suit praying the court to stop the said election until there is a meeting of Eziowelle General Assembly as provided under the constitution of the town, which the court granted.
There was an election that was conducted on the 30th day of June 2018, despite a pending suit. Before the election, my clients came to court to stop the election until there will be a meeting of General Assembly of the community as provided under the Constitution. And the court adjourned the matter, inviting all the parties to come and address them on that.
However, according to him, the traditional ruler of Eziowelle and some influential indigenes of the community defied the court order, went ahead and conducted the election. He maintained that his client wants the court to quash the election that saw Mr. Apugo emerge as the President General of Eziowelle community, since it was not in line with the constitution of the town, and to stop him from parading himself as the President General of Eziowelle, pending the determination of the substantive suit.
The manner and the way the election was conducted, there's a kind of apparent, thwarting of the constitutions, of the Constitution of Eziowelle, especially the 1992 Constitution. People were being intimidated, harassed, and pommeled into, accepting what they don't want to accept. So that's actually the summary of this. So after the election, one of the contestants, by name Emeka Akukwe, was not satisfied with the outcome of the election, so he brought another suit. So for now, we have almost about 2 pending suits. One pre-election suit, which asked them not to conduct the election, and then the second one, the matter concerning the election proper, for the court to nullify the election, since it is, bedeviled with fraud and irregularities.
The defendants and their counsel declined ABS demands to comment on the issue. From Ogidi, Chukwemeka Modelim, ABS News.
Done and dusted with the hard news. We shall be bringing to you Insider News right after the break. Stay tuned.
2018 Anambra Trade Fair. Hooray!
Expand your business contacts through products exhibition plus other opportunities.
Are you in agric business, oil and gas, fabrications, creative industry, tourism, fashion, manufacturing, trading, telecommunications, service industry, in small, medium or large scale? The third Anambra Trade Fair is here for you.
Date 26th November to 11th December 2018. Venue Choba Ibazu Stadium, Oka Road, Onitsha.
Book your stand
now.
2018 Anambra Trade Fair, organized by the Association of Anambra Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, supported by the Anambra State Government. For inquiries, please visit
www.anambratradeffair.org or call 08033166272
or 003-7866-974 or the offices of the Oka, Onitsha and Nnewi City Chambers.
2018 Anambra Trade Fair, a boost for your business.
This is ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
Glad to have you back on Insider News proper. It is often said that there is dignity in labor, but is there any dignity in one being a street beggar, even when he or she isn't disabled? It is even worse when the said beggars have resorted to using other people's children to attract pity to themselves, thereby extorting money from unsuspecting individuals. Let's join Ngozi Bileri of Insider News as she brings us details on how 15 of such beggars were recently caught in Awka.
In the society today, those who resort to begging as a means of livelihood are regarded as never-do-wells, as people believe that there is ability in disability, especially in this era of great innovation in all facets of life. Now, how can one reconcile the fact that someone is not a beggar because he or she is handicapped, but out of laziness and greed? Not only that, it has degenerated into trafficking children for the beggars who normally shout "Nyere mo me maka" at various parks and bus stands. Those children are not actually their biological children. How they met their Waterloo.
When I further inquired, I found out that they are all fake blind persons, who claim that they are blind in order to beg for alms. About 3 I picked at Amobi roundabout, 4 at Onitsha. So I went to Onitsha with 1. At the end of the day, I found out that all of them are not blind.
So what is the next step from here?
If you look at the child right law, it stipulates that any person that is, caught begging for alms with minors is 10 years imprisonment. So first of all, for instance, the one I caught at Awka Express Road told me that somebody, used to bring all these children. They used to go for alms. So I think first of all, we will take off from there. We have invited the police people to come and help us investigate the matter to find out truly whether all these children belong to some of them or whether they borrow them in order to beg for alms. There's a syndicate, they called her Edith. So we went to pick her and she ran away. So I think the police will help us investigate the matter to get the culprit.
Ndị Igbo jụrụ ajụjụ sị, onye ụgwọ ọrụ ya ezuru ọrụ, ọ bụ overtime ga-ezuru ya.
Ịchọ inyechi ya nwa ka ebe ya akpọnye dị nwa. Ebe ga anọ nkwenye.
Ebe ahụ kwa ọ na.
N'afịa.
N'afịa ebe ahụ ọ na.
N'afịa Ọka ka ọ na-ebe.
N'afịa Ọka ebe ahụ ọ dabiri.
Ka afa dị woman.
Afọ ya were.
Onye ebe.
Edith Nwajike.
Onye ebe. Onye ebe.
Onye ya onye ike.
Ka ihe na-enye ya o ji akpọ unu ka ego one ka ọ na ị ga-enye. For a day. The show not 1,000 he na-enye. For nwa akpọnye gị.
Being contented with what one has is a virtue. It is important for one to plan and live within his resources. It is also important for one to engage in a meaningful venture rather than disobeying the law in order to earn a living. If you are caught, you go in for your sins. In Awka, I am Ngozi Bileri for ABS Insider News.
And this is giving kudos to the Commissioner for Women's Affairs for this feat. Moving on, for everything under the earth, there is a season, a time to be born and a time to die. And for the late Mr. Julius Nwa, for his own time has come, he has died. And so he transited to the great beyond. Ngozi Bileri of Insider News was at the burial ceremony of Oko in Orumba North Council area and now reports.
Longevity is a gift of God to whom his mercies rest upon. After all, the Bible made it clear that man has a 70 years to live on earth, after which every other added time becomes grace. No wonder the family of the late Mr. Julius Nwafọ of Umumboroka Umuezekwem in Ifitoko, Orumba North local government area, rolled out their drums in celebration of a life that could best be described as well lived. Late Mr. Nwa's transition unto glory was a peaceful one, judging by the way he ended his sojourn on earth. Papa, being an only surviving child of his parents, started late in life because of his humble beginning, but he later rose from rags to riches, having been blessed with 9 children, all of whom are alive and are doing well in their various life endeavors. But before the story of how he died, let us talk about his final rites, which kicked off with a requiem mass at St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Church, Ifitoko, where a visiting priest, Reverend Father Paul Azuako, outlined how to live a true Christian life.
Because never ceremony Colombia, where you have pneumonia, and don't have pneumonia, we have no penicillin and I want pneumonia. And you pass when penicillin, or more, we're making wedding. Onya penicillin is or addendum, we met the President of England. The Prime Minister, Sir Winston Churchill.
Lest I forget, because late Mr. Nwafo was an ardent Catholic, about 12 Catholic priests attended his funeral ceremony. His body was later interred at his country home in Ifitoko. Away from the interment, the Catholic community in the area did their best in giving the deceased a befitting burial. Condolence visits from in-laws, friends and well-wishers stood out among the events. Some friends of the family who were at the burial to condole with them gave their condolence messages.
na ụmụaka anyị fụrụ ebe a tonitesigo wee nwee ike ịkwanyere nnafa ugwu dị otu a anyị ghọtara na Mr. Nwafọ himself bụ ezigbo mmadụ ekwu na onwere onye ya na ya na-aza na onwere onye ya na ya na-akọ so anyị nwere aṅụrị na ọ nwụrụ ọnwụ aṅụrị ndị na ụmụ ya na-akwa ya ọfụma.
Back to the last part of Papa's life on earth, his first son shared with Insider News what transpired on the night of his exit.
Ọ bụghị onye na-achọ esemokwu, o nweghị ebe ya na mmadụ nọ n'ụdị n'ụdị ọbụla n'ikpe, o nweghị n'ụdị n'ụdị ọbụla ya na mmadụ nọ n'esemokwu. So ya nwa na onwe kwadole na ọkpọkwa anụ m sị m na oge eluo nsị a nnụkwado m ya sị m na onye bịara abịa ya ana na ihe mere bụ na ya na-ahapụla anyị legacy, and say, okay, all the money.
His first daughter is the Special Assistant to the Governor on Administration, Civil Service Commission.
My father is a father to all. Usually give advice to anyone he finds going wrong without minding whether he's son or not. My father always stands on the truth despite the circumstances.
Brother Jude Nwafo is his father's second son. He said there are two important things Papa taught him.
My father told me one thing. He said whenever I'm discussing with my brothers, I should put water into my mouth so that I cannot talk excess. Whenever I remember these two things, in fact, I take things easy and I will do it the way it's supposed.
His first son-in-law, on behalf of others, wished Papa lived longer.
Onye na-agba mmadụ ọwụ na na-asọ ka agọkwa ọzọ eji m agọkwa ọzọ ma ọgọ ya dị ahụ mma.
May God rest Papa's soul. Amen. You can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging on to our website www.absradiotv.com. Like I said, www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And that's it on Insider News for today. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. My name is Maureen Stone Enujoke. Good night.